Hey guys, JC Smith here. Geez, today we're going to talk about tools. For a long time now, I've been out of room. My toolbox is full, and I've been cramming tools all over the place. My 1-inch drive impact is sitting on the bench there. I've got this roll cart over here that I bought, and I've been filling it up. I've got that toolbox over there I've had for years. Behind that big door is all of my tools that are in blow molded cases that need to stay in cases, and the drawers are filled with testing equipment, stuff like that. And I have tools spread out all over the place, and I've just really gotten tired of cramming tools on top of tools. And I don't mean like, you know, they're full of cases and, you know, stuff is in all nice displayed. I mean, like, it's a mess. I mean, some of the drawers are better than others, but the most of them are, you know, jam-packed. And I really need to get a new toolbox. And I've been thinking about it. I've been looking at them. The reality is I'm just too cheap. I just won't spend the money. And this is too tall for me. I'm a short guy. So if you ever see this, I'm standing on a stool to get to my top drawer. You know, picks, long-handled, you know, real long screwdrivers here. More screwdrivers. These are Matco, and every one of these is broken. Every one of the Matcos is broke. They're beater sockets. I can't get them warranted. We don't have a Matco dealer around here. The one that isn't horribly far away, when I approached him, he was at a place that I knew he was going to stop at. I knew he'd be there on that day. I stopped. I asked him, I said, hey, listen, I got these broken screwdrivers. Is there anything you can do for me? And he said, his words to me were, what are you going to buy off my truck? And with that, I said, nothing. And I left. So whenever I find a Matco dealer who will warranty these broken screwdrivers, I'm going to do that. I'm going to give these away. I don't want Matco. I can't get it warranted. They're worthless. Everything else, all my other screwdrivers are Snap-on. Well, that drawer is full. This is my wrench drawer. This is all metric. Metric ratcheting, metric line, metric stubbies. Every wrench in here is Snap-on. This is a set I got recently. These are Flank Drive Plus. That is from 10 to 19. This set goes from 6mm, I got 2 10s, all the way up to 24. And crow's feet. And I have an extra 13mm ratcheting wrench. There's a specific place I use 2 of them on an application. And then my metric crow's feet. These are offset blue points. This is one of the few things blue point that I actually own. And there's my Serpentine Belt tool. It's here. It's actually tucked way back in here. Getting a little rust on it from the cold shop. And this is my standard drawer. Again, Snap-on line wrenches. This is an extra set of metrics, a short set. I don't have room for them in the upper box, so I put them in here because I don't have nearly as much standard wrenches as I do. Well, not in here. So I had more room. But here's some, you know, some wrenches that you do this kind of stuff with. I keep them in here. So standard line wrench, extra metric set, Flank Drive Plus, standards from 3/8 to 3/4, ratcheting straight set, and then my standard set goes from 3/8 up to 1 inch, and I have 2 1-inch in here because I used a couple ratcheting wrenches for batteries and GMs. This was a special wrench I needed for something. I don't recall what it was, but I didn't buy the whole set. And then here is I bought a couple new screwdriver sets, and I haven't opened them up yet. I really needed this for one application, and that's really all I needed it for. But anyways, here's bigger socket or bigger wrenches. These are the Snap-on industrial finish because These start at 1 1/8 and go up to 1 5/16, I believe. So I bought them in the industrial finish because chrome's expensive, and those were a lot of money for me to begin with. So this is one of those ratcheting screwdriver sets in green. I probably have 4 or 5 of those ratcheting screwdrivers around. This is all paperwork, owner's manuals, stuff like that. Measuring devices, disc brake caliper, micrometers, digital micrometer. This is another micrometer, compass, you know, some soapstones for marking on cutting stuff, Sharpies. Oh, and there's my, that is my ultraviolet flashlight for AC, which shouldn't be in that drawer. This is all my brake tools, you know, for bending brake line, compressing caliper pistons. These are, I use this on the old Ford 1-ton dually brake springs, the retainer springs. You know, cylinder brake hone, just regular brake tools. Some of the special clips for on the Fords for the parking brake lever, and then fuel line disconnects, more fuel line, transmission fuel line disconnects for Super Duties, AC disconnects. I mean, you know, all that small stuff. There's no really reason that you have brakes, air conditioning, and fuel together except for all kind of small stuff, and it just kind of fit because I'm out of room. This is a refractometer for antifreeze. Here is my stamp set. This is for, that's my number set, and these are letters. This is all my owner's manuals and stuff like that from tools. And this is the overloaded drawer. I don't think this drawer is really intended to hold this weight. It's only got one slide on it. But this side is standard. This side is metric. A couple of things I just picked up recently. One of these. There's that 12 millimeter socket for straps, and that Super Duty socket. But this is missing a socket because we had a Matco dealer that was in the area for a brief amount of time. I gave him my 2 broken sockets that fit here, and between the time that I gave him the sockets and, I don't know, 2-3 weeks later, he went out of business. He closed up. Oh, we had these 2 also, these 2 Matcos. So those are missing, which I guess I'll have to buy those so I can get rid of them. So they'll be complete sets. Picked these up recently. These were on a promo. I bought these from Snap-on, the 3/8 impact swivel, and you got this set for free. Well, free. Nothing's free with Snap-on. It just means you paid more for that, that's all. Those are all axle nut sockets, all Snap-on. Different sizes, different applications. This is actually a set sold by Snap-on. I think it starts at like 27 maybe. Goes up to 36. And then, you know, I have Allen sockets, metric Allens, another set of Allens. This is all Snap-on. Tamper-proof Torx, regular Torx. What is this? What's that called? Torx Plus, that's what that's called. Another set of Torx, inverted Torx. These are a set of Cornwell impact swivels that I've had for a long time. I have one that's broken. Again, not a Cornwell dealer in our area. I have the tool, but it's broke. These are a set of 3/8 impacts, Snap-ons. These are Cornwells. I've never used these. These are 3/8 drive Cornwell impacts. I'm gonna sell these off. I'm gonna sell everything that's not Snap-on. I'm gonna get rid of. This is Matco 3/8 sockets. These are Mac. I don't have a Mac guy either, so I'm gonna get rid of that. Then we get into the Snap-ons. These are Snap-on quarter drive. Snap-on quarter drive. These are Matco quarter drives. These are Snap-on impacts quarter drive. Snap-on, 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 Snap-on. Yeah, these are cool. If you guys don't have these are great. These are made by Lyle, and I think Blue Point had them at one time, but I just bought them from Lyle. These are for your tap and die set, so you can put your taps in here and run it with a ratchet or a breaker bar instead of using a T-handle. I like that pretty well. Yeah, and this is pretty cool. This is, won't see that too often. It's a 3/4 drive breaker bar, and it's made by International. Well, it has International's name on it. I don't know who makes it, but this drawer is grossly overloaded right now, and I need to make some changes. So here is Ratchets and Extensions. Quarter. Some of my favorite, most of you guys know this is my favorite quarter drive ratchet. I like that swivel head, and you know what's really cool about it is you can tighten the tension right here as to how stiff this is or isn't to your liking, and I thought that was a really nice touch. I bought this one a while ago for an interior I was doing, and I needed a long reach quarter. That worked out pretty well. And you got the flex head quarter, and you got the standard quarter, and then the really small quarter. Got two of those. 3/8 regular extensions, 3/8 wobbles, 3/8 breaker bar, kind of a specialty little ratchet here. You can put your socket in here, run an extension up, and kind of work it from way up, which is kind of interesting. And let's see, 3/8 ratchet, 3/8, 3/8, 3/8. These are all fine tooth ratchets here. All those are long handles here, and there's a couple out right now. This green one, this is my favorite 3/8 ratchet of all. I've talked about this before. I don't know if many people know this about it, but I like it because you can put a socket on it and work it back and forth. It really works well. And then these are 1/2-inch extensions. I break this length quite a bit, so that's why I have 3 of them. Those are Wobble Extensions. I believe those are Mac. 1/2-inch ratchet, my longer 1/2-inch ratchet, and then my breaker bar. Some other extensions here, and this is a cool extension. It's 1/2-inch on this side and 3/8 at that end. I have another breaker bar. I believe, I don't know how long it is, but it doesn't fit in here. It's a 1/2-inch. It's in my roll cart. In fact, I'll just grab that because I don't remember how long it is. It doesn't fit in my roll cart. It's a 1/2-inch with replaceable drives on it. I break these, so the buddy of mine, it's a Snap-on dealer, he gave me extras. It's probably 3 foot. I don't know what number that is. Can we get that? It's SN36, so yeah, so it's a 36-inch, I guess. I put it over here with my pry bars because that's too big for the drawer. So, anyways, so that's all the ratchets. It's I wish it wasn't so dark over here. You could see it better. But this is all my torque wrenches. I got quarter, 3/8, actually quarter, 3/8 inch-pound, I think. No, quarter, 3/8, flex head, 3/8, and 1/2-inch. That's what they are. I don't have any room for these in the drawer they belong, so they're up here. And then that's a Snap-on power steering puller set. Pitman arm, some pieces we used for pressing bearings and seals and stuff. This is a harmonic balancer kit. I believe that's Blue Point, if I remember right. Torque set for torquing wheels. Balancer tool. Pressure, that's a pressure gauge for, hydraulic pressure. Electrical drawer, test light. This is a cool set. This is for taking connectors apart. You can tell I do use that quite a bit. Noid lights for some of the fuel injection stuff. Miscellaneous electrical test leads that our buddy Jonesy sent us. I've used them a good bit. Thank you again, my friend. Those were fantastic. I really like them. Kind of the beater voltmeter that, when I'm outside and the weather's nasty, I take this one out. Fluke 88. Test light from Snap-on. That's the one that lights up red or green, depending on if you're positive or negative. I've got a couple other Snap-on test lights in here. I've got this little mini one. got one of these, and I believe that one's a Matco if I remember right. And then there's that one of the few Blue Point things I have. It's that Butane soldering iron. This is one of the things that I'll tell you, if you're soldering things at high noon with the wind at your back with a 27-degree pitch and the temperature is at 77 degrees Fahrenheit and the moons are all aligned, it works great. Any other time, it's not so great. My plier drawer. I mean, I got pliers on top of pliers on top of pliers. You really have to know where they're at to get them. It's really a nuisance, is what it is. Hammers, dead blow, smaller dead blow, all the snap-on ball peens. These are kind of sacrificial, like sometimes. This is how much I've used this brass hammer. It is actually, I don't know if you can tell, I've actually beat it to where it's offset now. I've used it so much. It's actually formed one way. And this is a cool tool. This is a Lyle fan clutch tool. If you guys don't have one of those, you work on anything with a screw-on fan clutch, that thing's worth its weight in gold. I use that a lot on Super Duties. Air tools. Of course, my cordless impact. This is the old Snap-on Shockwave, the Snap-on MG725, the Snap-on MG325, a couple Snap-on 3/8 air ratchets, 1/4-inch Snap-on air ratchet, 3/8 impact, and Ingersoll. That Ingersoll is was such a great impact, and a couple die grinders cut off. That's a really cool cutoff. It's got a collar here, and it lets you turn the angle of the head. It's kind of a bulky one, but sometimes it's very helpful. And then in here is tap and die set, brass punches, spring-loaded center punch. Got a couple of them. Files. Again, a little bit of Matco there. And underneath that's a bunch of more files and stuff, and drill bits and extractors and stuff like that. And then over here, this is all my, mirrors and flashlights and razor knives, and this is a set of sockets my dad gave me before he passed, so I keep them in here. Hacksaws, flywheel turner for, back in the old days when you had flywheels that were open and you could get that in the teeth. That's a Snap-on, works real well. Serpentine belt for a specific application tool to release a serpentine belt. Guys would know what these are for if you ever worked on a GM. Take the dog one out of the front, and you can change the spark plugs. You tilt the motor forward by squeezing that together. I've used that a good bit back in the day. Tire tools, plugging tires, filling tires, a few tape measures here and there. Another Blue Point, very rare. I don't buy too much Blue Point. Air tools, Snap-on air hammer, Ingersoll Rand air drill, which nobody uses anymore. Ingersoll grinder, Ingersoll reciprocating saw. That was pretty cool. And some blow guns, some air guns here. Another one here, and then all my bits for the air hammer and a bunch of air fittings. That's where I keep all my extra air fittings. This drawer's kind of tight. This is my Super Duty engine tools. Setting timing on a 5.468, doing the cam followers. Here's some of the tools for the tensioners, the hydraulic tensioners. They come with the new ones. This is for holding the timing chain in place when you're trying to, what am I telling you? When you're trying to change the cam phaser, you can lock the cam phaser in place when you're changing it. Just a bunch of specialty tools. Specialty compression test gauge for Super Duties with the spark plug way deep in there. Vacuum gauge, Snap-on timing light. You can advance that timing light from base right off of here, and it'll flash for you. It's really cool. This is a very, very tight drawer. It's usually tough to get closed. Is that the right one? Yeah. And here's a bunch of specialty axle sockets and stuff like that. And oil filter wrenches. Whether it's plier style or the big 60 series Detroit or, whatever, stuff like that. So, now that being said, that's one of the toolboxes that I have, and it's full. That one's full. My dad gave me that when I was a kid. This one's full. I did a video on this a while ago. I've been upgrading all my impact sockets, so these are all my standard impact sockets. They go from 3/8 here up to, geez, I don't remember, inch and, it's so dark in here. And Snap-on does a horrible job of marking these anymore on the new sockets, like they're trying to save money. It's an inch and something, but I can't make it out. It's just so dark in here. I think it's an inch and 5/16. What's this one say? Come on now. Inch and a half. Inch and a half, so that's inch and 9/16 is what that is. And then, you know, here's the shallows. And then the 3/8 and deep, the 3/8 semi-deep, and there's one missing here. Somebody's been in here. And then the shallows, and then on this side we have the same thing, just metric. You know, you can tell I've used the metric quite a bit more since I got them. And, you know, metric deep, semi-deep, shallows, and 1/4 inch deep and shallows. And these are my pry bars. This is that great big striking cap. I believe it's 36 inch is what this one is. They're all in here. But you can see it's, you know, it's full of cases and testing stuff. So that brings me to what I originally wanted to make, you know, talk to you guys about. Is I've been thinking about this for a while and I wanted to do this, but I was just too stinking cheap. So without further ado, that's what I bought. It's the Snap-on roll cart. It's an extreme green. I really like this color. Every time I see this color toolbox, I really want one. But I'm cheap, so I don't want to spend the money. But I came across this one. Like I told you guys, a buddy of mine is a Snap-on dealer. So I called him, asked him how much they were new. He said $22.40. I think that's what he said. That's not what I would have paid for it, but that's what they are on Snap-on, you know, from their list price, I guess it is. So I've been looking for another roll cart because mine only has 4 drawers, and as you can see it over there, I fill it with test cases, like all the tools that, like the compression tester I have, it needs to be kept in its case, not like the stuff that doesn't need to be in a case. I mean, like things that have pieces to it, like it's a kit. So I keep it in that one, but I'm out of room. And I'd really like to upgrade to the extreme green bottom and top box and this roll cart. Now when I looked at them, I really thought I wanted like I had before, which is just a flip open lid. And then I started looking at these, and I actually thought I would like this, because this is a slide open lid. Okay, so both sides slide open, and what that means to me is I'm going to roll this around while I'm working. It's at a good height, and I can leave tools and my magnetic bolt bowls or bins, whatever you call them, on there and still get to my sockets. I'm going to take my sockets out of that other one and put them in here. And this is the extreme green, which I really, really like. It's you know, it's out of my character to go and spend money on something like this. I don't know. I just really liked it. I've seen it several times, and I really like this color. So I thought, what the heck? So I went ahead and picked it up, and like I said, I'm going to look for and keep my eye open for an extreme green bottom and top. And when I replace mine, what I want is, you see how I have my sockets, and this drawer here is overloaded. This drawer should have 2 slides here. There's just too much weight here for it, I think. But I would like to have, when I upgrade, I'd like to have the one big drawer for sockets that goes all the way across here, and then the other one down below that I can put all my wrenches in. So I'm not opening and closing drawers all the time. So, but anyways, that's what it is. That's what I started off to tell you guys, but I couldn't tell you why I bought this without explaining and showing that, you know, obviously I'm out of room. But anyways, I'll keep my eyes open. Hopefully if I find an extreme green top and bottom at a reasonable price, I'll pick it up. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to take it in addition to, I'm going to take this one home and put it in my home garage, and I'll keep it there, and I'll take all the older stuff that, you know, I've been upgrading, the older Snap-on stuff, and I'll leave it in this one, and I'll put it in the new box. So that being said, I'm going to leave you guys with that. If you guys like what we're doing here, give us that thumbs up. We appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and we will leave your comments down below, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, guys.